Interested in Azure fundamentals, either as a concept or on the similarly named Microsoft certification exam? Me too. I like Azure. I got into it because I was working with the Microsoft space. I was working with Microsoft servers, Microsoft Windows installation, some of their enterprise software, and, well, basically, it was forced upon me. I was attracted to it because I heard all these tools were going to be new and fancy and, cutting edge, right? What really drew me into it, though, was honestly the UI. It was very familiar, very comfortable. Looked like working with an office, right? Or working with some of our server tools. We had a lot of the same feel to the interface. The billing was actually pretty straightforward. And you know what? Some of the tools really were awesome. Yeah, I like Azure. Let's talk about the AZ900 exam in detail. First off, let me introduce myself. I'm Dan Sassy, been in IT 20 years. Hit me up on LinkedIn. Definitely don't hesitate to reach out with a connection request or a message if you'd like. Now, this exam is targeted for those that have a fundamental understanding of cloud technologies, which isn't to say that you had it before you started studying. That's what they're looking to test. The fundamentals. They say Azure, but of course, a lot of what we're going to be talking about is general purpose cloud concepts that are applicable to the Google Cloud Platform or Amazon Web Services or any other of those major cloud components, in private or public. Now, the test itself can either be done in a test center or it can be done at home, which is pretty awesome, right? If you take the test in a center, you're going to have to show up at a certain time and sit in a room full of computers and take the test essentially exactly the same way you would if you did it at home, except you're in a building potentially surrounded by a bunch of folks you don't know. Doing it at home does give you that extra privacy or comfort, if you will, of being able to do it in an environment. And ultimately, what you see on the monitor screen is going to be exactly the same regardless. Paying for the test is super easy too. You just got to buy a voucher. A voucher. We say voucher repeatedly. Voucher. V-O-U-C-H-E-R. Geez, Dan, you're kind of hammering that one home. Well, there's a reason for that. If you haven't bought the voucher, if this is new information, in order to buy access to the test, you have to buy a voucher. You need to pause this and go and do that right now. Best advice I could give you, give yourself a fixed amount of time to study. Which means you know yourself, right? Is that a month? Is it 3 months? Is it 5 months? Whatever it is. Buy the voucher, schedule the test. Now you have amount of time to study, you'll do it. If you wait till you're done studying to buy the voucher, you'll be studying for a long, long time. For most folks, not everybody. Obviously, we all do it differently. This is my recommendation for you. Number one, buy the voucher, schedule the test, then start studying. But yes, voucher. Google voucher for AZ900 or voucher for Microsoft exams that'll bring you wherever you need to go. By Google, of course, I mean use your favorite search engine. We have no preference over here. Use the search engine of your choice to find the voucher buy point, and it should be in North America, and in most places it's $99 as of this recording. Pricing subject to change. Now, if you do go the route to take the test at home, understand that instead of using someone else's stuff, you're going to be using your stuff. This is going to require a microphone, a camera, and of course, a computer of some sort that's connected to the internet, meet all their other requirements. They have a little widget you download that tests all of this. So if you're planning on taking that at home, let's test that widget before you get too far down and you need to find out you need to buy something or fix something or repair something so it doesn't cramp your certification exam test date. Now, I can tell you from personal experience that they are going to want to have an idea as to what's going on in the room around you. Commonly, they're going to ask you if you could just move your camera around the room. Take some pictures left, right, to the right. You can use your smartphone to take those pictures and upload them if you can't move your camera around. But if you can move your camera around, it does make the whole thing a little easier. Doubly so with the microphone because they're going to want to speak to you, hear you. That microphone has to be on the entire time because they have to hear what's going on in the room around you. And we want to make sure that that microphone is both effective and functional, but also not in your way, right? If it's built into like a laptop, you're going to do this 100% all within a laptop. You can move the camera. The microphone is completely out of your testing experience, and it should function, generally speaking. Again, download the little widget that comes from the test proctor, and they'll test all of those environmentals that you can do way in advance of the test. Now, this course on the AZ900 itself. What can you expect from this? Well, I've got it broken up into 10 different sections, what we call a skill. And each one should only take you, about 50 minutes. It's pretty typical of our stuff over here at CBT Nuggets. I've got a couple that'll run a bit long and a couple that are coming in right or close about 45 minutes, but give or take, should be about 50 minutes. Call it a lunch break. We're pulling up a couple of chairs and we're having a conversation. We're sitting around a whiteboard. We're going to talk about some stuff. You and me. And some tech, which is fun. Doesn't have to be any more than that. Still can promise you that you'll come away with what you need to be successful on the test. So we're preparing for the AZ900 Azure Fundamentals exam. Our voucher is going to run us about $99, and just searching for AZ900 voucher should get us the location where we can buy that. Once we have that, we can schedule a test, which is something we probably should do, my personal recommendation, before starting too hard into the study pattern. Once we get into that study pattern, which I hope I can guide you here in a series of lunch-long skills going over all of the different things that AZ900 touches on, which will be kept to a surface-level approach to keep the content as efficiently timed as possible. My name is Dan Sassy. This is the AZ900 certification exam preparation course here on CBT Nuggets. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.